Well, my family was always very Jewish. Um, as I said, both my parents were immigrants. They both came from sort of steeped in Judaism in certain ways. My mother from a religious family, but also from a very Zionist family. Um, my father more from a kind of cheder, but background, but he also became very involved in labor Zionism, and steeped in a lot of Yiddishkeit. We always had a Yiddish newspaper in our house, and the certain magazines like the Zukunft and magazines like that. And my parents were always part of these organizations. So, and we had very strong sense, our home was kosher. We always had a very strong sense of holidays and sort of special things that went along with the holidays. On the other hand, we didn't have very much formal education. And I said we had the shula, but wasn't so much. My brother had a strong yeshiva education. He's really different from my sister and me. So, but being Jewish was just a kind of hugely central part of our identity. A very large family in Israel and so on. When I was in college, I was very, very active in Hillel, and that was very important to me, too. And as a lot of what I learned about Judaism, I learned as an adult. I certainly learned to master the service, the sort of synagogue service. I learned about all of that. I learned about Jewish history. My Yiddish, I always had a kind of pretty good comprehension of Yiddish and not very good speaking. After my grandmother moved to Israel, I sort of would labor to write her these letters in Yiddish that my mother always corrected, but I can't really say that I'm literate in reading and writing Yiddish, although I have a pretty comfortable feel for comprehension. My Hebrew is, I'm taking a Hebrew class now. My Hebrew is not so great, but I'm struggling along with it. I have a son and a daughter-in-law and 3 grandchildren who live in Tel Aviv, so I have a strong incentive to want to speak modern Hebrew. And again, my comprehension is better than my speaking, but I'm working at it. But my general knowledge of Jewish history and culture is not bad, and I learned that all as an adult.